Hello, my name is Brittany Newkirk, and for our teaching task, we were given a fraction word problem. Alex works a part-time job. Last week he spent 2/5 of his weekly paycheck on bills and 1/5 of the remaining amount on gas. The rest of his weekly paycheck was spent on coffee and fast food. The $8 he spent on coffee was 1/5 the amount he spent on fast food. How much money was in Alex's weekly paycheck? So we are going to be using a bar model to solve this problem. We will be using rectangular bars to represent how much Alex spent on bills, gas, coffee, and fast food. In our top bar, we are going to write Alex's paycheck. This shows the total amount of money, and we know he spent his whole entire paycheck. Next, we are going to make a bar directly below Alex's total paycheck that is the exact same size. This bar is going to represent bills. We know Alex spent 2/5 of his paycheck on bills, so we are going to split this bar into 5 equal pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Since he spent 2/5 on bills, we are going to shade 2/5 of the bar and label them used on bills. 1/5 plus 1/5 equals 2/5. Now, this part of his paycheck can't be spent again because it is already used. Then we know Alex spent the remaining 1/3 of his paycheck on gas. So next we are going to split the next bar into fifths, again the same size, and keep 2/5 of it shaded for the money he spent on bills. So this part was spent on bills. There are now 3 boxes left of this bar, so we notice it is split into thirds already. 1, 2, 3. We are going to shade 1/3 of it and label it money spent on gas. You may notice this money spent on gas can also be thought of as 1/5 of the total amount spent. So if this is split into fifths as well, right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The gas is 1/5 of the paycheck. The rest of the weekly paycheck was spent on coffee and fast food. These are 2 separate things. We know $8 was spent on coffee, so in our next bar, we are going to keep the 2/5 shaded for bills, and that's in yellow. And then we are going to keep the gas 1/5 shaded, and that's in orange. The remaining 2/5 of the fraction is spent on coffee and fast food. So in this box, we are going to write $8 spent on coffee. Then in the bar below this, we are going to split the remaining 2/5 box into fifths. Again, we're keeping this part shaded since it is already used on bills and gas. We are going to put $8 in each of the fast food boxes, and there's 5 of them because it's split into fifths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we are going to perform some addition. So we know that $8 is spent on coffee. So for the fast food, we are going to add 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. And that is going to give us 40. You can also multiply 8 times 5, and you will also get 40. So now we know that $48 was spent on coffee and fast food combined because we added $40 for the food plus $8 for the coffee to get a total of $48. This $48 represents 2/5 of the total paycheck. So here it shows 2/5. We also know 2/5 of his paycheck was spent on bills, 1/5 plus 1/5. So $48 was used here, so up here $48 is going to be used on bills. You can add the money spent on bills, which is $48, to the money spent on coffee and fast food together, and that will give you $96. Now the only amount we don't know is the amount of money spent on gas. which is right here in the orange. We know that it is equal to 1/5. Since the $48 on bills and the $48 on coffee and food is split into 2 equal boxes, 1, 2, and that equals 48, we can divide 48 divided by 2 to find how much was spent in each 1/5 of the paycheck. This gives us $24 spent in each box. So $24 in each 1/5 of the paycheck. There are 5 equal pieces in our bar model for Alex's total paycheck. So you can add 24 plus 24 plus 24 plus 24 plus 24 to give you $120, or you can multiply 24 times 5, and that will also give you $120. We now know that Alex's weekly paycheck was equal to $120. $48 of it was spent on bills, $24 of it was spent on gas, $8 of it was spent on coffee, and $40 was spent on fast food.